Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I didn't even want to do this video today because once again, every time I have something negative to say about Xbox, all the fans, they come out in droves and they just get extremely mad and upset with me. Like, I don't have the right to be upset with Xbox after supporting the company for 20 plus years. So if the detractors out there want to throw stones at me, let them first be a 20 plus year supporter of Xbox before they can actually feel and know the things that I know about the Xbox brand. Now, I want to start off with some positive news because the other day, Microsoft, they had their developer direct and it was fantastic. Now, I did live stream it on the channel. If you guys do want to watch it, you can see it in the live section on my YouTube channel. Now, the show overall was great. I ended up giving the show an 8.5. Now, they showed Expedition 33. I thought that game looked fantastic. South of Midnight, I can't wait to get my hands on that game and play it on PC because it's gonna look fantastic. I like the lore, I like the story. Doom, they hit it out the park with Doom. Doom is going to be a fantastic title. We don't have that long to wait. It comes out in May. They also surprised us with the announcement of Ninja Gaiden 4. This came out of nowhere. Nobody saw this in the leak. There was no information about this. And I have to say, this was a huge W for Xbox. It was a huge W for Game Pass. It was a surprise, and most gamers came away impressed with the show. They even stealth dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, remade in Unreal Engine 5. They dropped it the exact same day. So right now you can play that game on Game Pass PC. You can play it on Game Pass on the console. So overall, it was a fantastic show. But what did we find out from that show? 3 of the 4 games are going to be on PlayStation. And I'm gonna assume when the Nintendo Switch is fully out, a lot of these games are also gonna show up on that platform because Microsoft has said so. Now, 3 of these games. So this is Doom, of course. And Doom, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it makes sense for it to be on the PlayStation. This has always traditionally been a multi-plat game, and I would expect them to continue to do that. So this is not one of these games that I champion that they should say, keep it off of the PlayStation. This is a game that should be on all platforms. So I'm not upset about that. Expedition 33, that is going to be available on the PlayStation. We also know that Ninja Gaiden is going to be available on the PlayStation day and date. And I just have to be honest here. If these games were exclusive on the Xbox platform, people would go out and buy an Xbox console. But Microsoft, Xbox, they've thrown in the towel already, and they're just gonna put their games on everything. And, you know, as you're gonna see throughout this video, I think it's just time everybody accepts that. So that was a pretty good showing, but unfortunately, all of those games are going to be running on the PlayStation. Then yesterday, we had an interview and Paris, and it's funny enough that Paris did this interview because I was having a conversation with Paris, and he pretty much said that, you know, the focus going forward is about games, and that they finally have the games, they have a lot of games, and, you know, that's what the focus should be. And I gotta be honest, at least he gave us his position, and I gotta respect him for that. Now, I think it is a great thing that Microsoft is finally coming out with these games. I've said it for years. If you guys can go back and watch some of my old stuff, you'll see that I said that when Microsoft gets this rolling, when all of these acquisitions are running in sync and they're pumping out games, that Game Pass is going to be so impressive, that they're gonna have a huge advantage. And that is the case. Game Pass is fantastic. It's a great service, and it's gonna have a lot of games this year. Now, the problem is this was all done in order, or at least my interpretation of it was to be done in order to drive traffic to their ecosystem, to drive people to buy an Xbox console. And you can't tell me that if Ninja Gaiden was exclusive on the Xbox platform, that people wouldn't buy that console for that game, because exclusives do sell consoles. It's not the end all to be all, of course not, but if it's a good exclusive, that has gamers mind share, they will pick up that console for that exclusive. Now, if your console is known to have all of the good exclusives, the word of mouth goes around, and that's how mind share is born. And then people just know that your console is a place that they can play the latest and greatest games. Now, the PlayStation platform, we all know that they have good exclusives. Now, whether or not they're in a dry spell right now is another thing that can be debated. But whether or not they have great exclusives that you can't find anywhere else, that cannot be debated, because they do. Now, why would you invest into an Xbox when you can also have their games on your platform with your great exclusives that are not available on the Xbox platform? That's the point that everyone misses. Everyone is like, well, they're coming out with the next generation console, so they're still making them. Yes, they are coming out with a next generation console, but that console is probably not going to sell well. Why would it? If everybody can get your games on their preferred platform, why are they gonna go out and buy your platform? Sure, some of the Xbox core guys that are supporting Microsoft this generation, they'll go out and get the next generation Xbox, but I don't think it's going to attract a lot of potential new users. I think it'll just carry over from some of the user base that's there now, and some of them might not even go over. They might migrate to PC. They might say, heck, I'll just get a PlayStation because I can still enjoy my Xbox games, and now I can enjoy these PlayStation games that I've been missing out in years. So let's just go over to Tom Warren's X post, and he has a little clip here of what Microsoft was saying when he was talking about exclusives and red lines. Now, pay attention to the details of what Phil Spencer is saying here.
The thing that I've learned and continue to learn when I'm listening to creators, not only our own studios, but other teams building games, is every creator out there wants to build a game that can find as many players as they want. And frankly, there aren't many platforms out there that try to build connections to people on so many different screens. It's almost like single platform, single device, single game. And that's kind of the history of our business. And we're really taking an approach of we want people to be able to play Xbox on many different screens. Now, not every experience will be the same. We obviously love the native experience we have on our own platform and our own hardware. And that's something that will continue for us. But we're not going to put walls up around where people can engage with the great games our studios are building, or where they can experience Xbox through different forms, whether it's cloud, whether it's on PC, whether it's on handheld PCs, whether it's on phones. I want everybody to be able to play on Xbox. And it does mean more of our games shipping on more platforms, not just PlayStation. We love the work that we do with Nintendo. We love what we do with Valve on Steam. And that's going to continue. We'll just continue to do more of it, because what we learn is put the games first. Make sure the games can be as great as they can. We love the experience on our own hardware, our own platform, but our games will show up in more and more places, no doubt.
There is concern in the community about, well, you're putting all these games on these other platforms. Why would I still want an Xbox? What is going to be the reason for me to want Xbox hardware when I can get that experience on another platform?
Yeah, I want people to pick hardware based on the capabilities of that hardware and how that fits into the choices they want to make about where they want to play. And we want our hardware to win based on the hardware capabilities that we have. I think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years, and I think this is good because I come from building games, it's really game first, not platform first. Most of the games you and I will talk about run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts when you look at the most played, most successful games. And I want to build a platform that services those creators that are trying to meet people on every screen. But let's say, like our own hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost on me. I've said over and over that box is in the name of our brand. I'll say is in the position I'm in, I look at hardware as a critical part of what we do, but not trying to gatekeep the games off of other places for the benefit of it. Let's go build innovative hardware that people want to use to play, whether that's in their hands, whether it's on their television, or even other places. And I love our hardware team and spent some time with them just this week and the roadmap that they have. And I think we're learning a lot from this, like Steam Deck and what does it mean for our games to be there? ROG Ally, what does it mean? Lenovo, what does Xbox mean on those platforms? I don't think we've tuned it perfectly yet, and it's spent a lot of time with the teams on that. But I want to make progress there. LG and the work we're doing with cloud, all of that helps us evolve our platform software So really embrace allowing someone to be a member of Xbox on whatever screen they want to play on.
Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I chuckled a little bit when he said what we learned is to make the games great and let them talk for themselves. I think what they've learned actually is that it makes them a lot of money when they're putting these games on the PlayStation and Nintendo platform, because from what I'm hearing, the numbers were really good. They sold a lot of units. And of course, that's why we're getting more now. So I just got to be honest here, this hurts the identity of the Xbox console. Now, if you just care about the Xbox games, if you just care about Game Pass and you're like Game Pass PC, then perhaps this doesn't bother you as much because you're still going to get to enjoy these games. And in fact, you're going to have some great games in your Game Pass service. But if you are a console player, you should be worried about this. If you are a console player and you're supporting this, you shouldn't. The reason why you shouldn't be supporting this is because the next generation console that comes out could be its last if it's not successful. Then all of your back compatible games that you had from the Xbox 360, Xbox One, that you're playing on the Xbox platform, those will no longer be a thing if they're not making Xbox consoles past the next generation. And then it will really matter to you. Now, I posted this on my X and I'll read it out for you guys. And this is a post from Reforge Gaming. And, he got a lot of hate, just like I got a lot of hate, for saying that Starfield was coming to the PlayStation. I also said that Forza 5 is coming. Most likely the next Forza is coming as well. Now, I said, if you care about the Xbox console's future, this is bad. Don't tell me that they're making an next Xbox. We know, but that will probably be the last one, and then you will cry. I'm being honest here. You guys have short-sighted goals because yes, in the here and now, it's fantastic. You're going to get to play games. Yes, if you have an Xbox console, it's going to be on your console. But if you look at the Xbox sales, they're not good. It's been reported that this year, or I should say 2024, the entire year, Xbox moved 2.7 million consoles. That is awful. In 1 month, Sony sold more consoles than Xbox sold for the entire year. So how can you be so blind thinking that this is a good thing? Now with the games going on the PlayStation platform, on the Nintendo platform, this is less of a reason to own an Xbox. And the reason why I get so mad and upset about this is because some gamers just can't concede the point that this is most likely going to be one of the last generations of Xbox consoles. I'm not saying they're not going to make a next Xbox console because I know for a fact that they are. And I'm hearing that it's going to be a fantastic console. It's going to be quite capable. And maybe they fluke it out. And a lot of people like that console for its capabilities. But the chances of that happening are very slim when you don't have any exclusive titles to draw people to your console. If the reports are correct and the Xbox next generation console is coming out a year before the PlayStation. So from what I'm hearing is that the next generation console is going to come out towards the end of next year. So we're going to get a new Xbox console in 2026. From reports that I'm hearing, the next PlayStation 6 is going to come out in 2027. Now, we initially thought 2028. We pretty much heard that their SOC is ready, and at this stage that it's at, usually it's 2 years before they start to produce it. So if that is correct, that would be 2027 that we get the PlayStation 6. Now, are gamers going to go out and grab the Xbox Series next if it drops a year early over the PlayStation 6? Yes, some gamers will. Now, if they were both to launch at the same time, I don't think it would be good for Xbox. I don't care what kind of specs they have. Them launching a year early gives them a head start and gives them a chance. So I don't want to just rule it out and say that, the next console is going to flop, because I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball. But looking at the trends and looking at the stats and looking at where the business is now and looking how exclusives do matter in order to move hardware, it doesn't look good for that next generation console. So the Xbox comes out in 2026. The PlayStation 6 comes out in 2027. Now, the PlayStation 6 coming out a year after the Xbox, in theory, will have more capable hardware. So that also wouldn't bode well for the next generation Xbox. And once again, not having exclusives to move your console, to draw people to your ecosystem, I think it's going to have an effect on the sales of that next generation Xbox. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Phil Spencer has come out and said that games will be everywhere. He was asked specifically if he can rule out Starfield. And he said that he cannot rule out Starfield making an appearance on other platforms, that's not the type of company that they're going to be going forward, where they're going to keep their games just on their platform. So I don't understand the denial from some gamers. I still have guys in my comment section telling me, what am I talking about? He never said that Starfield is coming to the PlayStation. So at this point in time, the people that are in denial, they're just going to have to stay there in denial until they're able to deal with it. I can't continuously argue with these people. I think it's pretty obvious to the average gamer that Xbox titles are going to be everywhere. Now, the argument going forward for me is if this is going to hurt the Xbox console. Because once again, if you just have your Xbox games, but the PlayStation has the PlayStation games and the Xbox games, what is the reason to own an Xbox? Surely you can understand how this is not going to be good for the Xbox console's future. This is my concern. All these people saying, well, I can play all of my old games. If they stop making Xbox consoles, you won't be able to play your old games on the newer consoles. You're going to have to play them on the old consoles. You're going to be upset at that point in time if there's no Xbox console to play your games on. If you're forced to buy a PlayStation, if you're forced to buy a Nintendo or go to PC. That will be the situation that you're in if there's no longer Xbox consoles. Yes, we know next generation there's going to be another Xbox console. They've confirmed this. I know this for a fact. It will come out. However, I don't think it's going to sell well, especially when we know that there's a PlayStation 6 coming out. I have information on a PlayStation 6 that I've been sitting on, that I've been combing through all the information because I want to come correct when I talk about it. But the PlayStation 6 is a lot sooner than you would think. At this point in time, you can't stay mad anymore because we know what's going to happen. And I made my decision. I said, you know what? I'm not playing on the console anymore. I'm just going to play my games on PC. And I stuck by that decision. But to sit there and to be continuously fighting like there is some console war that's going on is ridiculous because Microsoft, Xbox, they lost badly. And people saying, oh, the model is changing. The model is changing for Xbox. It's not changing for anybody else. And I'm not saying it won't change in the future, but I'm saying in the here and now, it's not changing. PlayStation's exclusives continue to sell well on its platforms. Yes, they canceled a bunch of games. Yes, Concord was a disaster, but they're still making a ton of money. So imagine that with all of those missteps, they're still in the lead. Xbox sees this and sees that they have no choice if they want to recoup their money from all the investments that they made acquiring all these studios. They have to put their games on PlayStation and Nintendo. It is what it is at this point. Now, I enjoy Xbox games. So I'm going to continue to enjoy Xbox games that are good. And I'm going to talk about the Xbox games that are good. I'm probably not going to really talk much about the Xbox console until there's new hardware that's coming out. So I'm not going to go back and forth with Xbox guys anymore. You guys can believe whatever you want. Yes, I was right, and I've been trying to tell you guys this for at least a year. Because a year ago, I was talking about this, but I thought it'd be some games. And I was like, there's going to be more games coming over to the PlayStation than you guys are comfortable with. It's not just going to be 2 games. It's not just going to be 4 games. It's going to be more than that. But at that point in time, I believed that we would have exclusives still on the Xbox side. I didn't think that Halo or Forza or Gears or Fable would ever make an appearance on the PlayStation. So, of course, to my surprise, when I started seeing more games coming, and then I started hearing about Forza and Starfield and Halo, because we heard about Halo a long time ago. And everyone was like, nah, that's never going to happen. Myself included. And then we started to get more credible information. And then, of course, Phil Spencer came out and said no red lines on Halo. And still you got people not listening to what Phil Spencer is saying and saying, no, that doesn't mean that Halo is coming. It's a game-by-game basis. Halo is the franchise that defines Xbox. And when you have the Xbox boss, Phil Spencer, saying there is no red line with Halo, that tells you all you need to know. And at this point in time, it's just a situation of common sense just not being common. And I'm just tired of fighting and arguing with guys over this stuff because it is what it is. It's not going to change at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you believe that all the games are coming or not. It's happening, and it's going to happen over time, and you're going to see it for yourself. Phil Spencer has said this directly. He's being interviewed all weekend long saying the same thing. And still I have guys in my comment section telling me otherwise. And then I have guys with their cope. Like, I just don't understand it. Saying, oh, PlayStation guys, they're buying these games at full price. While we have them over here on Game Pass for free. They're not free on Game Pass. You have to pay for your subscription service on Game Pass. You're paying for it monthly. If you stop paying that subscription price, you don't have access to those games. You can't play them anymore. So you don't own those games. You're renting those games. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the service because I still believe it is the best value in gaming. But I'm always going to state the facts. You are, in fact, renting those games. You don't own them. So I don't know what to say to you guys here. I don't want to continue making these type of videos and fighting with Xbox fans. At this point in time, it is what it is, and it's time to accept it, and it's time to move on. I have moved on. I choose to play my games on PC. That's where I will play my Xbox games. I have Game Pass Ultimate. I can play my games day and date there. The only reason why I keep Game Pass Ultimate is for the odd title, in case some of the Xbox supporters on this channel, they want to see a comparison with the game running on Xbox Series X. So I continue to subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate. Actually, I could just cut the service and just get Game Pass PC and save some money because I'm really not playing my Xbox console anymore. The PlayStation 5 Pro has now become my preferred console of choice because there's games on that platform that I can't get anywhere else. So going forward, the console war is dead. I'm not going to be going so hard at Xbox guys. I feel sorry for the guys that are in denial. And I guess when they actually physically see Halo and Forza and some of these other big titles on the PlayStation, on the Nintendo platform, perhaps then they'll come to the realization. But this horse has been beaten to death. Let's just be honest here. And if you're still in denial that Xbox games are not going everywhere, I don't know what to say to you. Now, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, this is great for you. If you just care about the games, that's also fantastic because Microsoft Xbox is going to be making games for the foreseeable future. And finally, they have all of their games rolling out. But unfortunately, now their games are for everyone, and therefore, the console war is dead. If you guys disagree with me, let me know the reasons why. Don't just say it. Let me know the reasons why in the comment section down below. Give me a valid explanation that is outside of your feelings. Let it be from logic and facts. Because I presented the facts today, and the facts just don't support that this strategy is going to be good for selling Xbox consoles in the future. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like I usually say, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.